We live. What up, y'all?
All right.
What up? Y'all make some noise. Clap for yourselves, man. People up. Give a big hand to Miss Melissa. Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all a second to get it together. I don't know if y'all know I go, I'm here. This might not be the crowd. I got y'all attention? One mic?
Everybody listen up.
All right, because the next couple of minutes, I'm going to put down some very, very pivotal information. The way I start this presentation, if you're paying attention, and this is for you, this will not be the same at the end of it. The conversation I'm going to have is about financial literacy, and the brother and Truist, y'all did a phenomenal job. Let's give a clap, a big hand for Truist, because that was some really amazing services that they offer. I was not aware, but this has to be an emphasis. Financial literacy has to be an emphasis, especially in our community, because I watch the report cards. I know where we at as a community and as a people. Before I get started, I'll introduce myself and exactly what it is that I'm going to do here today. I'm going to need a little bit more attention, though. I'll wait.
Go ahead. Sorry.
As I was saying, this is some very pivotal information that I'm going to share. And the first thing I'll do is start off with introducing myself and exactly what my objective is here today. My name is Muhammad Cannon. I have been in financial services for my entire adult life. I wandered into an insurance company, New York Life, way back when I was 19 years old, and I have been serving the community in that capacity since then. And that is not a little while ago. Okay, I'll just say that. And since then, I've worked in several avenues of financial service. Of course, as I mentioned with New York Life, I achieved $1 million roundtable status. I moved from there and I started with JP Morgan. I was a small business banker. I moved into their private bank sector. And then I was assistant vice president of business banking in the borough of Queens, New York. Then I moved here. I started with PNC Bank. I had a branch over on Rockbridge Road. That's now a dialysis center. It's a dialysis center. That's a hint. The bank is a dialysis center now. That'll actually tie into some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. After I did that, I actually built a school. You see my two babies here? One of the things that I'm hyper passionate about is education. My oldest daughter is 19. She's in Alabama A&M College. But the thing that we focused on was education, right? And we did a lot of homeschooling. So around 2014, I left the bank. Love y'all. But I left the banks, right? And I just wanted to go directly to the people. And with financial literacy, we built the school because we wanted to speak to the young people, called the Harriet Tubman School for Leadership and Enterprise. And we did some great things with that. But around that same time, very important thing, I was introduced to a financial literacy campaign. And that literally changed my life. And I learned some things despite this very lengthy and impressive, might I say, career and resume that I've done in financial service. I wasn't reaping all of the benefits for myself personally because I was very well trained. I was very well trained. I broke numbers. I did my thing at helping other people do a great job, but I wasn't tying it into exactly how to do it for myself until I got on this particular financial literacy campaign. So that's who I am, and what my objective is to really implore you to get financially educated, and I'm going to show you the resources that I have for you. Most of them are 100% complimentary. And I'm going to show you the access to some of the services that you really do need. But the most important thing is to be an informed buyer, right? Because have you ever heard of a stock seller? Anybody heard of a stock seller? No, right? But you heard of an insurance seller, an insurance salesperson? You know why you have to have a stock? You don't need a stock seller? It's because when people buy stock, typically they're already somewhat informed. They have a level of competency and intelligence concerning what they're getting ready to purchase. You need an insurance salesperson because 9 times out of 10, and I appreciate the brother once again for even breaking down concepts like dying and life insurance. We don't even know how to do these things, so we don't even mess with them. And then we got to get a salesperson, and that's a slippery slope, right? So the most important thing for us to be is empowered by being educated. And that's why I'm on this financial literacy campaign. So yeah, I sell a lot of things that help the community in a lot of ways. But the most important thing I'm going to give you access to is access to information and education. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. And thank you for letting me the choice technology. Collaborating here. The system that I operate with is a system called World System Builder, and I love it because it is a leadership platform, it's an education platform, it's a business platform, and it's a financial services platform. Same way we jump on Instagram, we want to share certain information. When we jump on Eventbrite, when we want to make sure that we're getting our ticket into our events, that is a platform, right? It's an important platform. But what platform do we get on when we need insurance and we need to learn about it? We want to change the community in that space. What platform do we get on when we need estate planning? What platform do we get on when we need college planning? This one. Okay, so that's what this platform is. All right, there we go. I think I'm good now. All right. So we are building a new industry. As you have extensive experience in the old industry. What is the new industry? The new industry, you see how I'm here with the backwards hat and the short sleeve shirt? This is the new industry. The new industry is where we are galvanizing and making ambassadors, making disciples of everybody in the community, right? Because certainly Truist Bank has a lot of work to do. Citizens Trust Bank has a lot to do. But nobody's going to do it better than we'll do it for ourselves, right? As passionate as any company can be, nobody's gonna take care of the family better than mom and dad, right? So what we want to do is deputize and empower each and every individual so that they can facilitate the financial services for their own family. Make sense? Down is forward, right? Okay, what are the challenges? The U.S. picture is a very gloomy picture. 79% of Americans feel financial stress, and more than half live paycheck to paycheck. 62% of Americans carry credit card debt. 37% have already maxed out their credit cards, and 27% don't pay the bills on time. Big challenge. And it's ironic because we live in one of the world's wealthiest countries, one of the wealthiest countries there's ever been, right? But at the same time, with all of this money flying around, billions and trillions of dollars, many of us are still going to retire absolutely broke. Many of us have insurance products. We don't know how they work. Many of us have 401ks. We have stock programs. We don't know how it's going, right? We got credit cards, savings accounts, no real plan. These are big challenges, yes? Okay. Pay attention. Income gaps. 90% of the population are fighting for 50% of all of the wealth. The top 1% is dominating all of the wealth and assets in the country. But at the same time, you look and we say the number of millionaires in the United States is nearly 21 million millionaires in the United States. That's roughly about 10% of the population. 10%, that's 1 in 10. And who are those people though? Not you? Okay. Not you yet. Who are those people? Who are these millionaires? Is it the people we see on TV? That's who it is? That's the 1 in 10? That can't be it. Who is it? Most of them are not celebrities. They're not fancy people or not people that have received an inheritance. This is the majority. It's about 70%. You can fall in this category. They are normal, average, everyday people who build up their financial future with consistent planning, with good practices over a period of time. So this is not about being, this is not creating something out of thin air. This is not about having a special talent or a special gift. This is about just having good practice over a period of time. One of the things that I learned when I was in New York City is the Caribbean population. Let me tell you one thing I learned very fast. They know how to save, and build some money, no matter what the circumstances are. But you watch them see and do these good practices. So here's the question. Here becomes the question. If 10%, nearly 1 in 10 of people are millionaires, what are they doing? And what do they know that we're not doing and we don't know? Because we saw the income gaps. So one of the things that we know is that the poor getting poorer and bad and poor decisions are adding up. No budget, no goals, spend a lot, increase debt, right? And no emergency fund, and move paycheck to paycheck. This is a challenging cycle. And just not interested truly in the financial future. So the reason why I love this conversation is it's really time for a change. And what we believe in is financial education. We believe that the future of your financial future is not in your hand, in the future of your employer, your union, your politicians, or anything. It has to be in your hands. So how do you get it? Right now, since I only got a couple minutes left, I'm gonna kind of speed up a little bit. But the things that we focus on is how to make money, save money, accumulate, and protect. That's very, and you know, those are simple bullet points, but the nuance of how to achieve these items are very important. So we help people to become educated and be their own financial money managers, because no one less costs more. And we need you to understand how money works so money can work for you. So how do we do it? This is a concept that we teach. This is called the financial foundation. We understand just what the brother was breaking down. One of the primary financial pieces of financial foundation is proper protection. So he talked about life insurance in the dime method. That is a concept that is actually in this book on page 9. It literally is the dime method. So I want to once again let you know that the message that Melissa's bringing to you is congruent, very potent, and it's going all in one direction. Since I only got a couple minutes, I'm gonna fast forward to a little bit of this, right? But once we establish that kind of a foundation, we move from insecurity to security, right? Let's fast forward a little bit more because I will be breaking all this down. Oh, that's the debt roll up. We talk about how to get rid of some of that debt, right? We talk about emergency funds. We talk about saving and investing and making sure you get that the interest rates proper. We got to break down taxes. Brother broke down taxes. I only got a couple minutes, you said, right? So this is the most important thing. I just want to get to this one part right here. Boom, right here. So if you see this is a very important piece right here. What I have in my hand is a textbook and a workbook. And we have corresponding workshops that we offer 100% complimentary by world-class financial professionals 3 times a day, almost every single day. Okay? So that's 2 p.m., 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So no matter what your schedule is, and the things that we cover, I'm gonna be very specific. It's a six workshop course, and the things that we cover. Workshop 1 is building savings and wealth. Workshop 2 is increase cash flow and manage debt. Workshop 3 is preparing with proper protection. Workshop 4 is your health and your wealth. I can't stress how important that is. It is something that we don't talk about in the community because we think about retirement, but the biggest thing that we fail sometimes to consider with retirement is the health costs. And we want to live however we want to live, right? We want to eat what we want to eat and move how we want to move, but those health costs in retirement must be considered because they are astronomical, and the federal and state government are making changes as we speak. I had a couple more minutes, I'll break that down, but the class is for free. Workshop 5 is understanding asset accumulation strategies, and workshop 6 is fulfilling long-term goals. It also comes with this workbook. By the time you complete this workbook, this is corresponding to each and every one of the workshops. By the time you finish this workbook, you will have a solid financial plan because this will be correlate to exactly what you and your family's picture is. Sit down with your family, your children, your significant other, whatever you need to do. We're doing this 3 times a week. All you got to do is come over here and fill out one of my survey cards. The last thing I want to say is because we understand how important estate planning is. If I had a little more time, I'll really dig into that. We are currently in we are currently in the largest wealth transfer in recorded history. Right now, $63 trillion is changing hands intergenerationally from one generation to the other. And guess what's happening? Money and wealth, like energy, does not dissipate. It doesn't dissipate. And if we're not prepared to collect what our elders and ancestors have fought for, there are organizations and people and systems that are there to collect it. Right now, only 30% of the assets that our grandparents and parents have collected are moving from one generation to the next in our community. That means 70% of the wealth that we're building up is going into other communities that are set up because of our ignorance. So estate planning is crucial. And it's not because you're not smart, because if Prince fell victim to it, Aretha Franklin fell victim to it, I bet you know a couple of uncles and aunts and people in your family that fell victim to it as well. So with that being said, not only am I giving free workshops, when you attend at least one workshop, we will give you a free will, a free power of attorney, and a free health directive complimentary just for educating yourself. All you have to do is come right over here, have this conversation, fill out this very brief survey, and tap into education. There's a lot more, but that's all I got for you today. Thank you for letting me share. Peace and power. Real quick though, any questions though? Any questions? Y'all good? Y'all financially educated and empowered? What's up, brother?
About trust.
Trust?
Setting up trust.
100%. That's not free though. Okay, but we can't get you with one of the top ladies in Georgia, the state of Georgia, Holly Gleedies. Because you operating with our organization, you will get a complimentary sit down for a trust. And that's what we do with that. But we do have those services, but that's not complimentary. Any other questions?
When you're set up with it, I know a lot of that in terms of legal or lawful protection. A lot of things people will do pro se, but are there lawyers or other people who are more on that side of things and are more familiar with being able to represent people as they're set up to protect their own assets?
With as far as the wills are established,
Wills, trusts, things like that. I mean, we had that information.
so the companies that we operate with is from the United States Bar Association. So it's filtered through all of that. So by the time the end result of whatever you fill in, it is substantiated and it's in compliance based on the standards of the United States Bar Association. So it does pass those criteria. As far as the trust is concerned, there will be attorneys involved with that. So that's another conversation. So that's who will stand on that if things need to be stood on. Is that the answer to your question?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Any other questions? All right. Well, our goal is make $1 million while you're young. Come over here. This kind of information is good. Survey cards are right here. I see you in a bit. Muhammad Khan, please.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging in here. We have, we have one of our representatives that have been in the back, Comprehensive Family Care, Ms. Monique. Come on up and tell us about your wonderful business.
Hello. I appreciate your continued attention. Comprehensive Family Care is a mental health agency. My name is Monique Knight. We provide a variety of mental health services, as well as some social services in the community. We have contracted with several state agencies to provide community support services. And today, since we're talking about entrepreneurship, I wanted to talk about something that's very close to my personal heart, and that is the mental health of entrepreneurs. It is a very different experience to be dependent only on yourself. And I counsel a lot of executives, entrepreneurs, high-level professionals who experience, especially in our community, a variety of levels of imposter syndrome that interfere with our ability to amass wealth. And we as a people bring some epigenetic, passed down, generational trauma to our experience of entrepreneurship that interferes with our ability to understand and manage money. And it's important for all of us to realize that becoming wealthy, experiencing the level of financial security that most of us came to this event because we strive for, requires some emotional and behavioral changes that are mental health issues. And if you have not managed those things, you cannot manage your money. You cannot become wealthy if you have not mastered your ability to manage frustration, to manage stress, to manage the sadness and depression and anxiety that also come along with entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship requires a mindset change that many of us have not learned the process, the skill set, the ability to shift our thinking from that of being a worker, a person whose value is determined by the amount of work we provide to somebody else, to being the person who owns our identity and our labor. And that shift in thinking is often in our community the thing that has been passed down generationally that prevent us from stepping out there on faith and taking the steps required to become the millionaire next door, as the brother said, or to be the one that's sitting in the office applying for those loans and being able to get back up when they say no the first time and deal with the rejection and the self-imposed identity of failure that has come from generation after generation of having those doors slammed in our face. And so when that is your reality and you want to shift from the position of being the person that does not have access to making use of today's opportunities, even though absolutely there are still challenges, but there are opportunities that sometimes it requires some additional coping skills to overcome those challenges and make use of the opportunities that are available. And so our agency is especially interested in supporting those people who are in the process of changing our community. And for many of us, it is not just about access to capital. It is not just about knowledge. It is also about getting those roadblocks of mental health, of emotional disease, of psychological trauma out of the way so that you can more effectively participate in the financial landscape. So as we work with individuals and families, we also support them in figuring out, how do I develop a vision of my own? And then how do I effectively pursue that in today's landscape? How do I effectively manage the emotional realities of being an entrepreneur and not having somebody else to fall back on, being in charge of your own health insurance and retirement budget, and having to make those big decisions every day? I have been an entrepreneur for solely an entrepreneur. Not this is my side gig, but this is how I pay my mortgage for 20 years. Wow. And in those 20 years, we now employ 22 people.
Oh, yes.
We are hiring, which I'm excited to say. We're looking to add another 20 people to our staff, as we do have a government contract right now that we are expanding our business for. And we also own an office building where we are also renting out space to folks that are also in that entrepreneurial space. We have co-working space for folks that don't necessarily have the funds to have their own office right now, but they're in the process of building. And I would love to invite some of our other speakers to come out and talk about how to build your business, how to facilitate growth, how to employ people. Because even though Black women, I'm gonna plug us for a minute, are starting businesses more frequently and at a faster growth rate than anybody else in the country, very few of us employ anybody else, and very few of us last more than 3 years, right? So some of that is that we don't have the support network and the coping skills to deal with a lot of the challenges that come along with entrepreneurship, combined with motherhood and being a wife, and all of the expectations that are placed on us from everyone else. And we have been trained not to say no to anybody, but you come and talk to us in therapy, and we're going to teach you how to set those boundaries. We're going to teach you how to prioritize your income over those expectations, and that your vision becomes something that is just as important to you as your relationships. And we can all become healthier in our mindsets, so that when we step out there and we work towards these opportunities, that we see more successes, that we see more accomplishment, and we have less people getting burned out trying to pursue something that they don't necessarily feel equipped to pursue. So we're hiring. If you have a heart for social services, please send your resume to us at hr@comprehensivefamilycare.org. Again, that's hr@comprehensivefamilycare.org. If you are looking for office space, our office is at 2055 Gees Mill Road in Conyers. And if you would like to contact us in reference to office space, you can do that at brownstudy, REC, @gmail.com. Again, that's brownstudy, REC, @gmail.com. And if you are someone who has recognized that you need some support, we take all major insurance. We have a sliding scale for folks who can't afford our regular rates. We bend over backwards to make sure that we can make sure that those people that reach out to us have an opportunity for healing. And if you're looking for a therapist, we have a crew of amazing people, and you can find us at www.comprehensivefamilycare.org. I'm open for questions if anyone has a question.
There was a question. I don't know. She was on the podcast like a week ago, and one of the questions was, how do you get over the stigma of mental health? Because in our community, we are always told to pray it away.
Yes.
And there's nothing but prayer, but we need more. How does a person come to you? Like, what's the first step for them to know that they, may need some help?
Yes, I appreciate that. So first of all, I would just like to say that the stigma of mental health care making you less than is just as ignorant, for a lack of better word, than someone saying that you're slutty if you go to the gynecologist. Right? If your physical health is important, so then is your mental health, right? And we as a community have to stop stigmatizing our own healing. There are many of the brothers, I'm gonna pick on y'all for 1 second, right? As much as I love you, but that don't think it's important to go to the doctor, right? I'm gonna tough it out. I don't need to go and have this prostate exam, right? We want you to be here. We want you to live. go get your prostate checked.
Right.
Go to the doctor, right? If you have a vision to succeed at anything, whether that is being happier and having more joy in your life, making your marriage work, dealing with your anxiety so that you can pursue that business that's going to give your family financial freedom, and you're struggling with how do I manage those things, therapy is a legitimate evidence-based practice to help you get from one point to the other. It is not about you being weak or crazy or insane or any of those things. A lot of my success in life has come from me being able to communicate about what's holding me back to a person that is trying to get me from point A to point B. And that is all therapy is. Yes, pray. Yes, talk to mama and them. But eventually, you're going to need to sit down with somebody who is trying to facilitate your healing and your growth in ways that mama and them, and even pastor, may not have been training, right? And this is not an option instead of faith. This is in addition to faith. And I think about the parable where the person is on the top of the building and they're praying to God on top of the house, and they're like, it's flooded and they can't get down, and they're like, Lord, send me somebody to help me. And the Lord sends a boat. They're like, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. The Lord, they're praying, and they're like, somebody save me, and the helicopter comes, and they're like, send a ladder down. They're like, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. That's what therapy is. The Lord is sending you a person who is led to help you heal. And if you continually say no to that and you make excuses for it, you are in effect staying on top of that house in the flood. And if that is your desire, nobody is going to save you, right? If you want to be in the flood until the Lord parts the skies and comes down and picks you up off the top of that house, more power to you. Me, on the other hand, I got to live on this earth, in this world, in this present day, and I want all the help I can get. So I encourage everybody else to take advantage of the opportunity to have clinicians, again, who are trained in helping you to grow and heal and move past the generational traumas that affect every one of this melanin in this country, and be your most best self, right? And this is a tool that has been available to us. It is covered by most of our insurance that we're paying way too much for. Take advantage of it. It's better to intentionally seek joy and happiness than it is to struggle in depression and anxiety. So, any other questions?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
What about children?
We work with kids starting at the age of 4. On some occasion, we have worked with kids as young as 2, depending on what their challenges are. We work with kids with all kinds of levels of challenges. Some kids who have some neurological challenges like autism. We have a video game that we use for kids who have ADHD that they absolutely love. It helps increase focus. But all the way up to, we have some octogenarians who are struggling to date after losing a spouse. So after 60 years of marriage. So we do have therapists that work with pretty much every kind of situation and any disorder that kind of pops up for people. So, any other questions? Again, you can find us online at www.comprehensivefamilycare.org. And if you ever need any support, there is a link there. You can fill out a form online, and very quickly we will get back to you and let you know what's covered by your insurance, what your out-of-pocket costs might be, what additional services and resources we might have available for you. And you can do that 24 hours a day, any day of the year.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this service also for the young adults and teenagers dealing with social media and all that?
Oh, yes. Yes. We are finding that that this generation in particular has some very different challenges, especially around social media, around the bullying that folks experience from social media, as well as the anxiety that it produces in comparing themselves to others. And so it really has created an identity crisis for teenagers and young adults. And so we do a lot of work in that area. We do have some therapists that's more of their specialty. And so each of our therapists have different niches that they specialize in. And so it's really a nice way for lots of different approaches to be available to different families. We have a lot of cases where one person in the family really needs a much more spiritual approach, whereas a different person in the family wants something where they're not talking about religion and they're not talking about spirituality. They want that straight CBT kind of approach. And so our therapists are gifted about finding out what approach really works well with different clients. So I have a really good team of folks. I'm very proud of them. So I encourage anyone who might be interested, reach out to us. You can see the different therapists that are available on the website. Take a look and really kind of figure out which one feels like they mesh well with you. Melissa, Lakeisha, several other folks that are here are part of our organization. And again, they do really amazing work. And if you are feeling like you want to talk through any issue, it does not have to be, oh, I'm going crazy and I've lost my mind. It can literally be a good example. I just got promoted and I need to balance my family saying, oh, I got the big head and my responsibilities in this new 6-figure job. I have a client who that's their issue. Far from crazy. Managing a great opportunity and just try not to mess it up, right? Those are the kinds of things that people come and talk to us about. It does not have to be some stigmatized version of if you're going to therapy, it must be something wrong with you. So give yourself a chance to let go of some of those things and work through them with a professional. Any other questions? All right, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. I do work with her. I am a mental health therapist, and I specialize in I have a very good niche, so check the website. Now, I want to welcome our wonderful Gabrielle. Hello, everybody. So you know how our government works for us. We are bringing a very special person that I dearly have known from internships. So, Gabrielle, introduce yourself and what are you doing?
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Melissa. Well, hello, everyone again. I am Gabrielle Rogers. Very excited to be here. Fun fact, Ms. Melissa actually met me about 11 years ago when I first graduated from undergrad from Troy University. So I'm very excited to be here today. And so I am running for county commissioner here in DeKalb County, so District 4. Our commissioner is running for a higher office, so it's an open seat. So District 4 is Stone Mountain, Tucker, Clarkston, Avondale Estates, and Pine Lake. So I'm very excited because I'm running to reimagine our quality of life here in DeKalb County. And what a county commissioner does is all of your roads, infrastructure, parking, any legislation that you get here on the local level, that is what the DeKalb County Commissioner do. The budget's here for any parks and recs and things like that as well. The street lights, when you hear about street lights, that's what the county commissioner do. And so with that, there's 3 areas that we focus on, which is economic development, public safety, and housing. You heard a little bit earlier about the financial stability of your life. And so the economic development here in DeKalb County is so important here. So part of the district is the Memorial Drive corridor, revitalizing those businesses in addition to all the way to Lawrenceville Highway. So I have a pretty big district here, a very diverse district. So I'm very excited to be here today again. I'm the wife of a union worker. I have 2 boys. One is graduating from high school, thank the Lord. I have the youngest one who's 16. And so the job that I do professionally is marketing and sales. I'm a VP at a nonprofit here in Peachtree Corner. So very excited again to be here to share my service here, how I can better DeKalb County. So again, Gabrielle Rogers. I would love for you to call me right now so you can take out your phone. You already have them out. Take out the cell phones. And so follow me at Gabrielle Rogers for DeKalb. That's from Facebook. So Gabrielle Rogers for DeKalb. Please hit like. Instagram, Rogers for DeKalb. So that's Rogers, the number 4 for DeKalb. As of right now, the election is not until May of 2024, which means start off very early and very strong. So I'm excited for what's to come. So you also can follow me on my website at www.electrogers, the number 4, DeKalb4.com. That's electrogers, the number 4, DeKalb4.com. So I am Gabrielle Rogers, and I'm ready to serve you as your next District 4 Commissioner. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, hey family.
Hello.
How is everybody?
Hey.
Give yourself a round of applause. Before I start, I wanted to let Melissa know she has done an incredible job today, bringing all the people together. I came from an insurance real estate background. Michelle?
Flight attendant, real estate insurance also.
Right? And what we do is empower and educate people to know their rights in this country. It's giving you access to the legal justice system. And we with the Legal Shield. What is the Legal Shield? We have a corporate of over 7,000 attorneys all over the United States and Canada. I'm an insurance real estate. I was not interested in prepaid legal what. But I got pulled over in Queens, New York for something I didn't do. Let me give you my personal, see, facts tell but stories will sell. Documentation beats conversation. I got pulled over for something I didn't do. This guy gave me a card. It says, if it's your intention to question, detain me, or arrest me, please allow me to call my, anybody? Attorney. Oh, I like this class. All right. It didn't say Pookie, Ray, Tyrone, or Junebug, right? But they let me go. I got a ticket in North Carolina. I live in Georgia. I didn't have to go back to North Carolina. No points on my license. No insurance going up. Is that good? I pay $30 a month, $1 a day. Cover me, my wife, and all my children in the home up to age 26. My kids, college students are all covered. So over to you, young lady. We got 2 more minutes more.
Yes. So not only do we provide legal services, but we provide identity theft services. Most people think of that as, oh, people stealing my credit. It's more than just people stealing your credit. They're stealing your name, your social, your medical identity, all on the dark web. And as I've been mentioning to some people in the room today, your medical identity could actually kill you if someone steals that. Because if someone goes to the hospital as Jane Doe and they have different blood type, have different issues than you do, and you, the real Jane Doe, goes to the hospital for an issue and they give you some type of treatment for the wrong Jane Doe, you can be dead. So we want to make sure that we are protecting not just our legal rights, our identity. We want to make sure we're protecting everything. Also, we have protection for small businesses. We give you legal protection because not only do you want to protect yourself, but your business that you work hard for. You want to make sure that no one comes in and hurts your business. As Mr. Charles said, we live in the U.S. of A. You sue anyone. So you want to make sure that you have that legal protection. Also for someone who may be wanting to start a business, but you don't know where to start. Our lawyers can help you to get your business started the right way by setting up your legal documents and make sure that everything is by code. So we would love to help you. Come see us over at the table, and thank you so much.
All right. On Monday, say Monday.
Monday.
7 p.m. Next door is the Fairfield Hotel. We have a live meeting. It's free. Tell your neighbor it's free. Free. You come, hear more stories about how to have access to the legal justice system. And I appreciate this guy, but I tell you, man, I'm proud of this group over here. I don't know why, but these guys know what to do. But these guys on this other side, they know what to do too. So pay a visit to us. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. But in Philippians 4:6, it said to be anxious for nothing. In 3 John 1:2, it says, I pray that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul. And Psalm 50:10 said he owns the cattle on 1,000 years. I'm not preaching, but I'm letting you know that God have you in here for a reason.
We just got two more, and then I want you, before you leave, because I definitely want to make sure I do something there. Okay. So just the two things, I have a young lady who has wonderful products today. She's a herbologist, and iridologist, and a lot of health products, especially with all the things that are coming up today, and talking about our health and wealth, which Re-Kee Services is all about. So I want to introduce Ms. Kiana. Come forward. Kiana has practices, amazing woman, as you see, and she practices this health and wealth all the time, and she also does private consultations for you to be able to understand what's the importance, especially, I just got my colloidal silver so that I can make sure, because we're in a crowded room, I want to make sure I'm protected. And therefore, we don't have to use all the medical stuff. Okay.
That was actually part of what I wanted to come and say. I don't do a whole lot of like group speaking. I do counsel individuals and families, things like that. But one of the things that I wanted to make sure our community was aware of is that we have options. So if you are interested in doing things allopathic or the Western medical way, you want to be on prescriptions, you want to do things the traditional way that things have been done, you have that option. And I just want to make sure that everybody in our community understands that there are other options. Herbs have been around since the beginning of time. If you read your Bible, if you read your Quran, if you read your Torah, you know that God said that he put the herbs here to heal us, right? And so, I just want to encourage all of these entrepreneurs and individuals and families, mothers and fathers, if you're interested in an alternative or the original way that we used to do things, I encourage you to go ahead and give those choices a chance. And don't assume that because one person said one thing. I mean, if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you something and it's not working for you, you may try that doctor 5, 6, 7 other times. You won't even go to another doctor. So don't just try an herb and think that herbs don't work for me. Select a herbalist that is someone that really kind of understands the way that your body works or understands what it is that you're going through. I had the opportunity, or I've been blessed to kind of come through the tears, or however you want to look at it, from so many different angles. I started studying Sabi, but I studied with Dr. Africa. I'm also, I do iridology, which means I look at the eyes, and it is able to tell me what's going on in the body. So I don't have to cut you open. Blood tests are helpful, but they're not necessary for me to understand what's going on. I also from there went into holistic birth. So I do classes, and I teach you how to have babies if you want to have babies at home, or if you want to have unmedicated births. We came out doing those things. So now we're kind of conditioned to believe that what we're hearing in the hospital, or because somebody has on a white coat, is law. I just want you to understand that if your spirit is telling you that something isn't right, or that you don't want to do it that way, there are other options. And so, reach out to that. And so for, some of our family members, community members who are doing different therapies, and you are feeling crazy, because let's be honest, we all feel crazy sometimes. There are, things that go on in your body that can be brought on by something that's going on emotionally.
something that's going on spiritually or something that's going on with your diet that is not allowing things to basically operate properly within the body. We have different glands and different organs that help hormones fire off, and we all have them. Male, I know guys, y'all like to blame it on our hormones. We all have hormones, okay? And sometimes things are not in alignment with being able to assist us in being at our best self. So I make herbs, and I also counsel, and that balance allows you to be able to get the body to start doing what it's made to do. And then as you're listening to the counsel or the counsel of others, I know that Melissa and the other beautiful woman that came up and spoke, they all have counselors and things like that. When you bring those two in alignment, it helps you to be in balance, right? Because sometimes we need herbal help, or we need something else in addition to what we're listening to so that we can make it all line up and feel like we can now move forward and grow. So I want you to know that your only options are not prescription meds. Your only options are not to stay on something for the rest of your life. There are other ways to do it. And I think it's time that we stop turning our nose up or not being aware of what else is out there for us. Like I said, is with some of the groups, if you're interested in just kind of getting some information on what is out there, so that if you have a client that is just not able to receive what you're giving them, it could really be because things in their body are out of whack and they don't know how to bring that part into balance. So I'm able to assist you in that other piece of the puzzle that you're missing to assist you with your clients. And for individuals that are in the room that is like, I tried this and I tried that and I tried this and nothing is working, know that there's something else out there. So, you can see me, you can just, be aware that, it's help out here, and it's not just what you have, what you're always seeing. There's other help. So diet is important. So I definitely encourage us to start paying attention. As an iridologist, I was really shocked when I started to find out that a lot of the older people who came from a time where, we had fresh grocers or local grocers in the area, their bodies looked a lot better than these young folks' bodies. The young folks' bodies were beaten up on, or the neurological system was completely out of whack, and it's based on the chemicals and things that they're putting in the foods now. But the problem is that now, from young to old, we're all eating the same crap now. And now they are, making meats that are not meats, and, all kinds of things. So basically, I just want to make you aware that there's an alternative way that is not even really an alternative way. You can go back to the way that God designed it and get your bodies to do what they're supposed to do, so you can be out here and feel like you are in balance, so you can feel good, and so you can feel like you can handle the stresses that come with everyday life, and it not take you over the top, or somebody that you love over the top. So that was all I wanted to say. Oh, and today I have with me an iron tincture. It's a super iron. It's amazing. I'm very proud of that product. It actually takes 5 months for me to cure that iron before I put it out for everybody. And this iron is good for your blood. It helps clean the blood. It helps build your immune system. It helps clear out parasites. So when you're taking it, it helps allow the blood to get the oxygen that it needs. I'm trying to find an easy way to say it, but it helps the blood get the oxygen that it needs and things like that, so that you can be healthier and be, again, more in balance. I also work a Relax Relief, which is great if you have trouble sleeping, or if you just need to be relaxed. I know a lot of us as entrepreneurs, or just even people who have so many tasks throughout the day, when they go to sit down or they go to lay down, they cannot relax. It's like, did I do this? What I got to do tomorrow? How do I do this? And what I got to, and so the Relax Relief It is great for muscle aches and pains, but it's also good for that where your mind just won't rest. And it also gives you your daily magnesium, and magnesium is really, really important for the body. So I have that, and I also have the ENT spray. So that's ear, nose, and throat, and it also is good for the eyes as well. And that will build your immune system. It's great for allergies and allergens that are in the air, ear infections, pink eye, all kinds of stuff. So, and that one is good for infants all the way up to adults. So that's what I brought with me today. But I just, more than anything else, I just want us to be aware that we have options, you know. And so, thank you for your time.
So I'm gonna thank Mr. Moon again, but I have, from Re-Kee Services. But
Am I getting fired?
I'm gonna offer you this particular service is a foot detox and reflexology package, and anything else behind that is a percentage off, but that's free. Okay, you got all the way to December. And the person who can tell me who they spoke with and what they said, and if they signed up, can get this other tutor reading.
Oh, look over there, raise your hand.
Did you? Let me take you in one. What did you have? So who's over here? Oh. Okay, I need you to name the person that you spoke with and what information did you get from them.
I got one.
I spoke to you though.
I got a realtor. Raise your hand.
No, I'm saying the truest people.
Well, looks like I won.
That means if you come over here, you also get a foot detox and reflexology package, $90 value, please. So who's gonna come? But I need you to sign up. All right, here we go.
All right, so I will also say this, when you have.
You already signed up? I already signed up.
Yeah,
Why you didn't say anything?
I wasn't gonna tell. You gotta open it up yourself. So I will also say this to you guys. You heard me say that we also want to make sure that we're taking care of both sides of the balance sheet, right? You can't take care of the business, we're not taking care of the personal. The way that it works, and when y'all hear me say collaboration is a new form of currency, that is important because when I enter in one of the relationships like what we have with Miss Melissa Lewis with Re-Kee Services, through a strategic partnership, anybody that is in her network now has the ability to use her financial wellness code. So what does that mean? That means that when you go through her, and we actually have a QR code, we had a few people do it today. When you sign up, Truist only has one type of checking account. It is one that grows with you and moves with the ebbs and flows of your relationship. But you automatically, because of her financial wellness code, end up getting going to tier 2, which basically means you get free cashier's checks, free money orders. You also get to use someone else's ATM. There is no fee. You get a $100 negative account buffer, all because you are here at this event today. So if you have not done it, I'm going to leave this with her. At any time that you decide that you want to go by her and leverage her network, right? All you have to do, hover your phone over the QR code. It will automatically populate that. If you're already a Truist client, that's okay too, because guess what? All you got to do, still scan the QR code. You can open up an additional account just by scanning the QR code. It will populate that, and you'll get all of those benefits that I mentioned. So thank you guys so much. We're going to get out of here. I promise I won't keep them for 4 hours, but I promise you, Mr. James Blackman, his location is right here on the other side of the mall. It's the Stonecrest one. So if you need anything, he has an awesome team. Walk in there. Tell them that you were here at this financial wellness. They'll have this code. So even if you don't take a picture of it and you go to them, you say, I was at this event, they will have that code available to them, and you'll still be able to take advantage of those benefits.
So thank you guys. Continue to grow and prosper. I love you to the moon and back. There's nothing you can do about it. I appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend, okay?
I know that you guys, I didn't want to hold Truist up because I know, but I didn't have y'all sign up too. Because Truist is my thing. So this is the representation for the outdoor people. Come forward. It was like, don't forget about us. Don't forget about us because they got some fabulous things. So it was you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Alfredo. I'm with my girlfriend and her sister Shar, it's right here. And we started a business together, SM Apparel and Gifts and Apparel, SM Gifts and Apparel, and we sell body butters, we sell necklaces, bracelets, and the bubble shoes, the custom bubble shoes as well. So I don't know if you've seen it, like it got popular. But yeah, we have tumblers as well.
Is it beadwork?
Yes, beadwork.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have stuff like that out there. Yeah, feel free to check us out. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Who's coming Monday? Raise your hand. Who's coming
Okay,
to meet
this
this
is
Monday?
Ron. Good. Hold on. Hold on. You have to do some monitoring here. I love you, Ron. But I need just 2 people to talk. This is my CO, who doesn't want to be called my COO. This is Jerome Arrington.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. No, you can't hear me. All right. My name is Jerome Arrington, and I am a life and wellness coach. I'm a business coach, and I've been working with Melissa. I've known Melissa for a long time, and I just want to thank her for bringing all of you together. It is a beautiful thing to see entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and business owners all in the same place and helping each other, getting to know each other. This is a beautiful thing. This is a dream of hers, and I am so happy for her. So I want you to give her a round of applause. Those of you who don't know me, one of the things that I like to do is I like to engage, not just sit here and talk to you or talk at you, because everybody can do that. And we've had some great speakers up here, and they've shared some wonderful information. For just a moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I want you to stop, pause what you're doing, just for a few moments. I want you to take a moment, and I want you to close your eyes. Now, I want you to think about the happiest time in your life, the time that you felt good, great, smiled, laughed. I just want you to think about that, and I want you to hold that just for a moment. Then I want you to take a deep, deep breath and exhale. Here's what I want you to remember. That energy that you just used can be used to power your dreams, your manifestations, to grow, to dream, and to create whatever it is you need. Here's why this is important. People talk about manifesting their best life, but they don't know how to do it. People talk about manifesting and creating great things, but they always seem to fail. Do you know why people fail? Anybody? Because they fail what? They fail to try. What else happens? They let other people get in their head. They let other people talk them out of their dreams. They let other people question their motives. Here's what we're here about. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to love yourself. And I want you to think about this. If there is anybody in your life that ever told you, you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, I want you to tell them, in your quiet voice, just shut up. Just be quiet. Because I have a purpose, and the only person who can determine my purpose is me. So as long as you're determining your purpose, what does that mean?
I'm in charge.
You're in charge. Some of you are so busy giving away your power to other people. I need you to stop giving it away. God didn't build you that way. He gave you the power. I need you to start using it. So, if you don't remember anything else, remember all the things that Mr. Moon and everybody else shared with you today, I want you to remember this. You have the power given to you from the beginning, not at the end, from the beginning to be great. So, if you want to learn how to do it, if you're not sure what you need to do, come see me in the back of the room. My name is Jerome Arrington. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Man, the doctor with the coat on. Dr. White, yes.
Well, no, I'm not going to. I'm just trying to.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Yolanda Wade. I'm a pediatrician, and I'm providing special needs services and also environmental health services. After medical school, and you do your residency, and then you practice. Well, I did my residency here in Atlanta, right across from Grady at Hugh Spalding Children's Hospital. And one thing we noticed is that whenever it rained here in Atlanta and you were on call as a doctor, we always knew that we weren't going to get any sleep because that's when all the kids with asthma would come in. And they always said, weather changes, weather changes. Well, when I first began practicing medicine, I practiced in rural Georgia, about 3 hours south of here. And when it rained, I just expected to see a whole lot of children with asthma coming in. I was the only pediatrician within a 30-mile radius, and I just knew I was going to be slammed. But in fact, that was not the case. And that's when we realized, that's when I kind of had an epiphany and realized, wow, why is it the case in Atlanta? And that's when I realized that it's the rain that brings the pollution from the higher atmospheric level down to the ground level. And then I started putting two together with a lot of other things, realizing that more and more kids now are having chronic medical conditions and even special needs. And a lot of it is relating to the pollution. So that's why I do provide my environmental health services and also special needs services. And when it comes to environmental health, it's another way that we can help to our bodies become more fit and more resilient. If you want to stay healthy, you drink water, you eat fruits and vegetables, you get lots of sleep, you exercise, you do all these different things. But what do you do to reduce your toxin burden? A lot of the pollution is actually linked to a lot of health disparities that we experience and a lot of chronic medical conditions. And by the time you actually get symptoms of cancer, it's probably in stage 3 or 4. By the time you get symptoms of a stroke, you're in the ER. By the time you get symptoms of any chronic condition, it's probably too late. So that's why we have to focus on prevention and focus on being proactive. And so with my environmental health services, you just start off with the environmental health risk assessment. It's only $50. And then we'll just screen you and fill out a questionnaire to screen your community, your home, your water, your air, everything, lots of nutrition questions, and it comes with a 15-minute consultation. But really, the full consultation is $250, and then also offer coaching services because we have many environmental justice communities, not just in America. We heard about Flint, we heard about Jackson, Mississippi, but we also got some right here in Atlanta, and I can go through it, with Smyrna, there are a lot of areas, but we gotta take action on this, and also offer special needs services because there's so many schools that are bearing the burden. Not only families bear the burden of having a child with a special need, which could be a behavior problem, a learning problem, speech, development, movement. It could be anything, but we find that a lot of parents need help. A lot of parents are not receiving the services that they need. With doctors, we might make the referral and find out the patient never went because the child was too young or didn't accept this insurance or some kind of barrier or hurdle in healthcare, which is normal. And so what I do is I help to facilitate the service to make sure that children have the special needs that and even adults too. We find that sometimes caregivers have similar concerns that the children have. So make sure you stop by so I can give you one of these humidity meters. This is a humidity meter. And it measures the amount of humidity that's in the air. And this is just one way to assess your indoor air quality. You also have air quality, air monitors. But here in Atlanta, in Georgia, we are right between the Atlantic Ocean and the Appalachian Mountains. So that just traps in all the humidity, which makes Atlanta so humid. And that's why, 80 degrees in Atlanta is different from 80 degrees in anywhere. Florida, New York, you name it. And it's because of the humidity. And guys, we're in August, it's the most humid time of the year. You have the humidity on here, it's 54, it should be between 30 and 50%. It's not unusual. Here's 54%. That's fine. If the air is too humid, it can increase the risk of like mold and mildew and dust mites and breathing problems. And if the air is too dry, you get nosebleeds and breathing problems. We worry about that in the winter time. But right now, I have 3 dehumidifiers in my home right now, and I think I see one in the back. Quick action. And so yeah, and one drains to the outside, otherwise you have to dump it out. But you gotta control the humidity. It's not classified as an air pollutant, but it increases the pollution in the air because it blocks the air from circulating. So yeah, make sure you get one from me and sign up so I can put you on my email list and send you guys more information on how to improve your health through the environmental pathway. Thank you all.
Introduce, I'm Joseph from Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. If you haven't already, please go to polkadot-rabbitpodcast.com and follow. All of this is going to be live on there. Actually, the first brother Charles Moon, his podcast or his lecture is already up. Okay, I'm going to introduce Master Yao, a very informative individual, to say the least. Let him speak on. I'm going to let him speak on some different subjects, but he has the floor. So.
Hi.
Master Yao.
I'm Master Yao, founder of Grand Trunk, and I'm also the owner of a company called Track Towers. And we're doing a little bit of we're renting some offices. So we have offices for rent for people who need that, especially if you just start a business. And we also have classes that they are life-changing. We have a very select and a very small clientele. So the classes are about a variety of subjects. We deal with Tantra stuff, we deal with religion to some extent. If you move in from this religion and you're moving to that religion, and you're going through trauma as a consequence of that, we don't teach religion, but we try to help you make that change so that you're not stuck in a bad place. So we don't try to steer you from choose whatever religion you want. We try to help you if you're having issues with your spiritual life, finding a path. And we teach financial stuff from an energetic perspective. So we have a lot of different programs that we do. It's from an indigenous perspective. They're very unique. That's the best way to put it. You have to talk to somebody that's already taken one of the classes.
So basically what he also is saying, so a lot of times when people go through issues with relationships, my God.
No.
Relationship issues, or when you find opportunity, and sometimes when you find yourself in places where you can't figure out what is really going on, why people are acting, or you go into the blame game. That's the house classes helped change me in a lot of ways, so that I can determine I was actually in a bad relationship, and I said, okay, you can't look at bad relationships. You can't look at that because a lot of things fall within ourselves, and he allows us to understand how we generate that and how we are reflections of each other. So if you're pointing the finger at someone else, he's saying, oh, I think this is somebody else's fault, or blaming somebody else's fault. Something inside of you has that same thing. Something inside of you can tell yourself, let me change within. Everything is internal. Everything is internal. So stop the blame game and allow yourself to take responsibility for yourself. If my business is not right, then I'm going to say, what do I need to do to change? So before, I had a lot of health and wealth. Every month I would do the health and wealth. So I had to look at what needed to change. What do people want? People need to know finances. People need to know how to start their businesses. People need to know the medical. I love the fact that you come with a different perspective. People need to know about a lot of these, not just holistic ways only of doing things, but the ways we need to start really looking at doing things. Kiana. And also life insurance. We have the legal shield. A lot of times, and I can't say enough, I appreciate you guys, because a lot of times we don't take the time to do our wills. We don't take the time to prepare our families. So as far as the legal shield, take responsibility at everybody. Credit repair. Hey, we done messed up our credit. We try to go and get a loan over here, but no, we're not ready because our personal credit is not straight. And then we want to try to get a business credit. We can't do that. We just can't do that. We got to merge things together. Internalize what's happening. What do I need to change within inside of me? Okay, so when we change and we go, you have a wonderful opportunity. Nobody really spoke to her that much, but she is not just, and I'm going to talk to you also. We're talking about the opportunities for home ownership. A lot of times right now, people say, oh, the interest rates are so high. But Mr. Moon talked to us. He said, now is the time to prepare yourself. Don't wait until the interest rate drops and your credit is here and when it needs to be somewhere else. But then she also takes the time to say, hey, I can get you in rental properties. I can get you into these rental properties, Ms. Jamil, Ms. Rim. Yes, but talk to these wonderful people. I'm going to stop talking, but this is what the opportunity that Master Yao allowed me to help understand why I need to take the chance to turn things around and look at myself and how I can make a change so I can do it. So when I decided to stop doing it the way I was doing it, I was hard-headed at first, but I was like, I need the business. People need to know about business. And that's when I'm not trying to preach up here, but I'm just trying to say, this is why I did it, and this is why you're here. So everybody who is here is supposed to be here, and there you go. That's right.
I'm over my time.
Those are the coldest ones.
Oh, you know what? I print out
My face
that's I print out. It's just on Book It Up podcast.
to do what?
Everything. If you Google it all.
Is it written on here?
Yeah. I'll spell it out. EOL KADOT Rabbit RABBIT. There you go. I got a whole bunch of scams on there.
I will subscribe.